What is up, YouTube? My name is Trinity, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So I took a bit of a break as I'm getting ready for October, the spooky season, the month that I want to put the most effort into my channel for you guys, of course. So I missed a week of uploading our Cryptids from Every State series. So this week I'm going to be recording an extra long episode for you. We're going to be covering 10 states instead of just 5. Also, I can't remember if we hit 400 before or after I uploaded my previous video, so if it was before, thank you guys so much for getting us to 400 subscribers. I am always so thankful for you guys. Just seeing all of the growth we've had since then, we're already at 410. I just feel so excited to keep going and keep producing content for you guys. The first cryptid we are going to be talking about today is the Massachusetts Pugwudgie. The Pugwudgie is a creature from Wampanoag folklore, and its name translates to Little Wild Man of the Woods that Vanishes. And this is because on top of being able to vanish at will, they're also able to shapeshift. Though its true form is that of a very small grayish humanoid with the black quills of a porcupine. And like many legends of little people and gnomes and fairies and stuff like that in the woods, they are considered little tricksters. Though not all of their tricks are very fun on our end. Legend said that they used to be allies with humans, having a very friendly relationship, but something along the way turned them against humans. And because of this, they will lure humans to their deaths. They can create fires, they use poisoned arrows, and have magic. They've also allegedly kidnapped people, used sand to blind their victims, pushed people off of cliffs, and stabbed people with knives. So again, not very fun. And according to legend, like a lot of different cryptids, they're just best left alone. Next is the Michigan Mishipishu. This is an Ojibwe legend that translates to the Great Lynx. Now, despite the name calling it a lynx, it looks more like a dragon almost with some feline characteristics. Its horns and the scales on its back and tail are made of copper, and it's said to be a guardian of this type of metal. It also has webbed paws to enable it to swim very fast through the water. It does have the potential to be very dangerous and harmful, but it is also seen as a protector. It could give medicine and could also be called upon to aid in hunting and fishing. Sudden changes over lakes in the area, such as sudden fog rolling in or a storm, or strong winds are all said to be indicators of the Mishipishu's presence. And as I said before, it can be seen as a very dangerous creature as it can create dangerous conditions over the water, such as breaking ice, whirlpools, rapids, and huge waves, which can all be deadly. The next one we are going to be talking about is the Minnesota Iceman hoax. So the Minnesota Iceman came into the public consciousness in 1968. Cryptozoologists Ivan T. Sanderson and Bernard Heuvelman were notified of a very strange attraction that was gaining a lot of attention and was being displayed at strange places like malls, state fairs, and carnivals. Not exactly where you'd expect to make a great scientific discovery. But what exactly was this attraction? It was an extremely large humanoid creature covered in hair and encased in a block of ice, greatly resembling the appearance of Neanderthals. Many advertisements labeled this attraction as the missing link. Giving a little more detail on the appearance of the creature, it was about 5'9" and had a very prominent brow ridge that we associate with Neanderthals. And its large feet compared to its body size made some believe that this may even be the true identity of Bigfoot. It was also said to be in kind of a gruesome state as well. The creature was also said to be missing both eyes, with one of them just hanging out of the socket, which was a result of a wound on the back of the head that was allegedly a gunshot. At least that was what was told to the cryptozoologists. So considering that there was a gunshot wound to the creature's head, that would mean that somebody had found this creature modern day. It's not like that old Scooby-Doo episode where a caveman was frozen in ice and then started chasing people around. This was apparently a modern species, which definitely messed with the whole missing link title that they were giving this creature. Heuvelman was convinced, however, and he even wrote an entire scientific paper and gave a scientific name to the specimen, Homo pungoides, which roughly translated to ape-like man. Not everyone was convinced of this scientific discovery, though, because despite when this creature was thawed out of its ice block, there was a distinct odor of rotting and decay. After examination by a primatologist, the creature was proven to be made of latex. Now, just to save on time, I'm going to cut the story there. However, I will probably revisit in the future just because I want to know more about the entire hoax and who was behind it, and I want to share that with you guys. Next are the Mississippi Pascagoula River aliens. On October 11th of 1963, Calvin Parker and his friend Charles Hickston were fishing along the banks of the river. As they were fishing, they began to notice a strange blue light shining over the water. And as they watched, it began getting closer and closer until they spotted an egg-shaped thing floating above the surface of the water. Apparently, when the egg-shaped craft reached them on the shore, the craft opened and 3 humanoid beings exited the ship. At this point, the 2 men became paralyzed and were unable to move, not able to retreat from the creatures coming towards them. They couldn't even make any noise as the creatures grabbed them with clawed hands and somehow levitated them into the craft. They said for hours, it seemed, they were probed and examined by these creatures with unfamiliar instruments. Though, as suddenly as it began, they were deposited back onto the bank of the river, seemingly only having missed minutes. And as they watched, the egg-shaped craft disappeared into the sky. The tale quickly spread around their town, and many declared it a hoax or at least a delusion of some kind. Though many that spoke to the men directly claimed that they saw genuine fear in these men's eyes. Calvin was apparently so traumatized by the event that he largely hid away from public life, while Charles, on the other hand, continued to seek answers on what they had experienced. Next, we're going to be talking about the Missouri Ozark Howler, though this one goes by many names, including the Hoo-Hoo, the Nightshade Bear, and the Devil Cat. Now, this mysterious creature is said to be about the size of a bear covered in long, shaggy black hair, possessing massive curling horns and glowing red eyes. It's said to be an omen of death for anyone who sees it. Theories of the creature's identity range wildly, from a subspecies of mountain lion, a wild boar, an eastern woodland bison, to a species of invasive hyena, though I would love to know the theories as to how a hyena got here. Okay, I'm going to be so real with you guys. Next is Montana, and I could not find anything that cool with Montana. Not to insult you if you're from there, not to insult your whole state, but I couldn't find anything that wasn't just another version of Bigfoot or a copy of something that I'd already talked about, so it's going to be very short. But if I miss an amazingly cool cryptid or ghost story or something from Montana, leave it in the comments below, and I promise you I will make a whole dedicated video to Montana to make up for this. So for Montana, we are going to be talking about the dragons of Yellowstone. Now, the legend says that there are dragons residing in the underground caves surrounding the geysers and springs of Yellowstone. And the origin of these legends are likely the rumbling of volcanic activity below that were mistaken for the growling of some immense creature. Next is the flying monstrosity of Falls City, Nebraska. The story is that there was a man outside one night and he came face to face with a 9-foot-tall, hideous, otherworldly creature. The creature was said to have huge, watery eyes just filled with hatred and malevolence, with brown, battered, leathery skin, and attached to him were huge 15-foot metal wings, covered in multicolored lights and strapped to the creature via a harness. It's said to have hissed at the man, and within seconds of encountering it, it took flight and vanished into the sky. For Nevada, we're going to be talking about the Pyramid Lake water babies. This legend originates with the Paiute people that have resided in the area surrounding Pyramid Lake for many, many generations. Pyramid Lake is said to be a place of great cultural significance, but it is said to be home to many dark, malevolent creatures, one example being the water babies. Water babies are said to be the vengeful spirits of premature and deformed infants that were cast into the lake in times of hardship, such as famine. They're said to be very tiny, pale creatures with wrinkled skin and glowing red eyes. They're said to have the ability to shapeshift into either a child or just a loved one in order to lure someone to the water's edge. And then there they will drag their victims into the dark depths. And on moonlit nights, you can apparently hear the screams of their victims echoing across the surface of the lake. These are also said to be related to the mermaid of Pyramid Lake. Her backstory is that she was the wife of a chief. She was a very beautiful woman, but not from the area. And many elders of the tribe believed that she had dark powers and therefore cast her from the tribe. She wandered in the desert for many, many days until she came across Pyramid Lake. and decided to end her sorrows there. But instead of dying, she underwent a powerful transformation. Her legs fused together and became a beautiful shimmering tail. Her skin became pale and her eyes began to glow like moonlight. However, in exchange for this transformation, she lost her human heart. She's said to lurk beneath the waves of Pyramid Lake, and anyone that gets too close, whether it be a fisherman, a swimmer, or somebody on their boat, she'll drag them to their deaths. Some believe that the mermaid is a physical manifestation of the anger and sadness of the water babies that reside in the gloomy depths. Next is the devil monkey of Danville, New Hampshire. On August 21st of 2001, David Kimball, the fire chief of the town, claimed to see a very strange creature drop down from the trees into the road in front of his car. He said, quote, "It jumped out of the trees. As soon as it hit the ground, he took a giant leap and went back where he came from. The first thought I had was, that's nothing that's native to here," end quote. He consulted with the town librarian, and after looking through all sorts of possibilities of what the creature could have been, he said that the closest was the Humboldt woolly monkey that is native to the Amazon. Throughout August and September, other residents of the town claimed to have similar encounters with a creature that matched that description. Or they heard an unfamiliar screeching coming from the woods that didn't match anything that lived in the area. A young boy even claimed that he had left peanut butter cookies in his treehouse and that something had taken them. And the leading theory with this is that somebody potentially had an illegal pet woolly monkey or some sort of primate in general that had escaped. But it hasn't been seen since, so because it wasn't adapted to the climate of New Hampshire, it may have died or been recaptured. The last creature we are going to be talking about tonight is the Jersey Devil, or the Leeds Devil of the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. Appearances may change slightly depending on who you're talking to, but generally the Jersey Devil is said to be a bipedal creature with hooved feet. It stands like a kangaroo and has a wyvern-like body, possessing the head of a horse or a goat. It has wings like a bat, short stubby arms with small clawed hands, and a forked or pointed tail. Also, the noise it makes is said to be like a hellish scream. The original legend said that it was born to a woman named Jane Leeds, also known as Mother Leeds. She had 12 children already, but when she found out she was pregnant with her 13th, she cursed the child, saying it would be a devil. When she eventually went into labor on a stormy night, she was surrounded by friends and family. She delivered the baby just fine, and it came out looking pretty normal until before everyone's eyes it transformed into the creature, growling and screaming as it beat those in the room with its tail, before scurrying up the fireplace and disappearing into the Pine Barrens. That is everything for today, so thank you so much for watching this video and showing support to my channel always. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button and share it with a friend if you think they'd enjoy this Cryptids from Every State series. Also, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload. You'll especially want to know once October hits. And finally, if you are a fan of this Cryptids from Every State series, be sure to check out the playlist that I will have linked at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.